Hey everybody, Mike Iaconelli back out here in the shop. I want to talk to you about my second stop on the Major League Fishing tour schedule. And it was a lake called Lake Conroe, north of Houston, Texas. Man, I have a lot of history at Conroe, but most of my history at Conroe is in post-spawn to early fall. We showed up at Conroe and the fish were in the pre-spawn. On top of that, the lake was high and dirty, and the bite was tricky. I had a good finish. I think I ended up just in the top 40 by fishing 2 baits and covering a lot of water. That was really key for me. And you know, the bait that I like when the water's in the low 50s, when the fish are pre-spawn and the water's dirty, is a vibrating jig. A vibrating jig, I love it. And I used a Molix 1/2 ounce white Lover. On the back of that, I put a little Berkley Swimbait trailer in white, and I would just cover tons of water. I tried to focus on areas where I thought they were staging the spawn. Mouths of pockets, secondary points, halfway back in a creek, areas where they were going to be moving before they spawned. So anytime I was covering water and hitting barren banks, I would throw that. But the other bait that really came into play, especially on the last day, is around isolated targets. Whether it was a dock or whether it was a bush or an isolated limb, I decided to start pitching it at stuff to slow down a little bit. And a missile jig was real key for me. I used the 1/2 ounce green pumpkin missile jig, and because the water was still in the low 50s, instead of a trailer with a lot of movement, I used a chunk trailer. And I used the Berkley Powerbait Power Chunk in the 2.5 size. Man, let me tell you, if you're a fan of these missile mini flips or micro jigs, that smaller chunk is a perfect profile for that bait. Vibrating jig covering water, jig slowing down, 1-2 punch. You know, rod and reel, I used 2 different rods, 2 different reels to complement that. When I was throwing a vibrating jig, I threw the Abu Garcia 7-foot medium power series rod. That 7-foot medium has just a little bit of tip, about a 30% tip. It's perfect for a vibrating jig. I threw that on Abu Garcia Revo Ike with 15-pound straight fluorocarbon. On the jig, I went to a little bit different rod. I went to the Abu Garcia Ike series rod, 7.2 medium heavy in the power series. Same reel, Abu Garcia Ike Revo, 8-0-1. And on the jig, because I was flipping it around some heavy cover, I went to Berkley Trilene 100% fluorocarbon in 20-pound tests. You know, really one of those grinders. Cover a lot of water, catch what you can catch, and I'm happy with the finish. Talking about the second tour stop, Major League Fishing, on beautiful Lake Conroe in Texas. See you later.